You don't know what kind of time so don't waste your time. Your time is precious. I am the mother. It's up to the mother to step up and say, "Excuse me, I am your mother." But we forgot our position. We're out of order. We're out of rhythm. We don't know our posture. We don't know the part we play.
But yeah, so for the first 4 people, okay, she's giving 4 people of when they send their contact info and email address, and make sure to put
start doing any talking, just to embrace your mate for that 30 seconds, just to say, wow, I married you, I'm your mate, I'm with you, and this is what I love about you, and just be, because you have to be in harmony with yourself first. You know, you come into a circle of sisters or relationship and you got issues. You know, I mean, we know about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, but where was the mother? Well, who was the mother of the Father and who was the mother of the Son? Is she not worthy of mentioning when she births? When she is the mother that births, really strong, and now I'm here to serve, I'm here to communicate, I'm here to connect, I'm here to go to work now, because my first work is right, number one. You can't touch tomorrow because tomorrow's not here yet. What you're gonna do, what you fit to do, what you try, it's not even, but where we are right now, be here now. So when you're here now, you listen, you feel, you observe, use your intuition. Be totally in the present moment rather than, I'm here with you now. What am I gonna make for dinner? I'm not worrying about what I'm gonna make for dinner because I'm here now. Be here now. Mm-hmm. Temple cycle. Yes, because I know in Native American cultures, what they used to do, and in many Native American culture they do today, you know, when it's communal living, family living, and they're living in societies like that, when a woman is having her moon cycle, she is allowed to go and be on her own for 3 or 4 days. Somebody else will look after her children. Somebody will maybe take care of her home because that's the time. I mean, here you are, you're in your cycle, you're going through all these change, and you try to hustle. You're in the subway trying to hustle down the steps, get on the train with your book bag. You know, I don't really feel like being here, and I just want to go somewhere and put my feet up, you know, and drink a cup of raspberry tea, you know, and write a little, listen to some music, listen, calm my nerve, because you're going through something with the universe. So it is a time to kind of separate yourself. And you know, when Queen and I we went to a Native American ceremony, when the women start to moon, they were asked to leave the circle so that they could have their private time, because if you are in circle with your moon, now you're draining energy because you're requiring more energy. You know, you don't have the strength that you normally have, so you're pulling on the energy of the circle. So it's no, go and be in that place by yourself, relax, take a nap, get some rest. And it's such a beautiful, because we're honoring the cycle to just be still, to be at peace and let the body go through this process. You know, sometimes women's cycles, you said, they'll tell you, my cycle was 10 days late, or it skipped a month. This is when we're out of order. We're just doing too much. You can't, when our cycles like this all scattered, it means we're all scattered. You know what I'm saying? We're not taking time to breathe or get enough rest or be in order with ourselves. So we're out of order. Our cycle's out of order. So when we calm down, get rooted, get in our synchronization, then you'll notice the cycle will come back in order because it's a reflection of us, letting us know. Yes, yes, yes. So with my healing by the light of the moon work, you know, many people know about the full moon and the new moon. But what a lot of people don't know is the moon has 8 phases, you know, starts with the new moon. And so I attach wellness to each phase. So on the new moon, what do we do on the new? Clean up the house, clean the kitchen, get the bathroom cleaned up. You know, get your dining area. Start exercising. And women, sisters, we've got to stay fit. You know, if you don't take care of your body and stretch 30, 40 years, you'll wish you did. You know, just make it a habit to stay liquid, to stay flexible. So we need to work out on whatever way we like to work. It may be doing salsa, it may be doing African dance, it may be jogging, maybe doing yoga, but do something to strengthen and fortify the body. So we got to remember, we know how to eat right, but sometimes we slip up. So on the new moon, let's get back on it. Let's get the alkaline water. Let's get the fruit. Let's get the smoothies going. So every new moon, we get back on our square with our physical body. It's just like your body is your vehicle. This is the only vehicle you'll have for your entire life. Like when you get in your car, who wants to ride in a hoopty? Nobody want to ride in a hoopty. Everybody want to ride in a Benz or a Lexus. Or, a well put together car. And when you get in your car, you want the windows to work. The music's coming on. The door locks. The brakes work. So who wants to get in the car and the windshield wiper doesn't
Right.
work? And when it rains, you have to pull. You know what I'm saying? It's only one windshield wiper, but if that don't work, you better pull it over. So this is your vehicle. Now your heart ain't quite working. Now your back ain't. Now your liver's not quite. Now your knees are not. Hey, 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 hey! You got to stop and get this vehicle. This is the only vehicle you're gonna have. So we need to stop on that new moon. Get your body right. Get the foundation right with the new moon. Now the next phase is the crescent moon. Get your mind right. Because your mind controls your body. And if you're all stressed out, being negative, the cup is half empty, you're going to have a half empty life. You got to get our minds right. We got to think positive. We got to be grateful. We've got to see how can we heal our life. We've got to admit where we need help. So we got to get our mind right. That's another piece of work. What are our goals? What's our plan? So on that second phase, I focus on your mind. The third phase is the first quarter moon. I focus on our spirituality. When we don't have spirituality, we often tend to be arrogant. We have egos. I do this. It's not about you. It's about the whole situation here. When we deal with our spirituality, we're kinder, we're loving, we're sharing, we're listening. We're able to be in flow. We're able to be in harmony. We're able to listen to the universe. You're in your car and a red bird stops on the back of your car. What is the meaning of a red bird? Go look it up because it's a message coming to you from the universe. So when you're awake and you're alert and you're paying attention, signals are coming to you all the day if you are spiritually activated to see what the universe is trying to show. You had a dream. What did the dream signify? Something told me to call my cousin. Spiritually, we have to be alert. And the fourth phase is the gibbous moon, and that focuses on our abundance. Because the system tries to keep us broke. You're running around, you pay the bills, you go to dinner twice, you're back to broke again. The universe is not broke. The sky is not short of stars. The ocean is not short of water, okay? Like I tell you, put a
Period,
spoonful of sand
Mama.
on a piece of white paper, count the grains of sand. The universe is not broke. So if we're broke, well, whose channel are we on? Not the universal channel, okay? So we have to tune into the abundance of the universe, and we all have different gifts. So we are inclined to remember, what are our gifts? Bring your gifts out, polish them, put it together, market them, take a chance. We've got to believe in ourselves, promote ourselves, and find a way to get our financial freedom using what we have. Now, phase 5 is the full moon. So I have the full moon forum, and I call people all over the world, let's get together every full moon because it's a way for us to stay connected. How many times you have a friend and you say, hey, girl, I haven't seen you in 5 years. I haven't seen you. Where you been? You've been to Mars? What's going on? No, every full moon, let's come in. When you see the moon, it's a full moon, we're getting together. Let's check in so we don't have to get lost in space. We can stay connected every full moon. Because you can't say you missed it. The moon just be, it's right up in, you can't say you didn't see the full moon. So you know it's time to get together. Phase 5. Now in phase 6, I like us to do some you have to do some self-reflection. You have to check yourself. You got to say, when it comes to these 3 things, I'm excellent. Now when it comes to this other thing, you know what? I need to work on that. If you don't know where you need, if you don't want to admit what needs work, how do you expect to heal it or improve it if you don't even want to admit where you need healing? You was with you all day today. You was with you all last night. You was with you all last week. You was with you for the last 5 years. Don't nobody know you. You've been with you all your life, so you can't say you don't know what. Either you're a good cook or you're not. You already know what you got to do. So you want to strive to say, let me work on that. Let me put that together. Let me work. Let me strive to build that part of myself that is not up to par or that I can do better. You have to acknowledge the places you're doing good and the places that need some work. So that's called the disseminating moon, phase 6. Now, phase 7 is the last quarter moon, and you've got 7 days before the new moon gets here. Bless you. So when you got 7 days from the new moon, now you got 7 days to get it. You can't clean the house in one day, but if you got 7 days, clean that refrigerator, clean the bathroom, get some flowers and put them on the dining table. What do you want to eat? I feel like eating avocados. I want to, think about some healthy things that you want to eat. Go put those things in the fridge. You got 7 days to get it together. That's your phase 7. And on phase 8 is called the balsamic moon. We should what? Shaquetnu. Be quiet. Come off the media. check our dreams, sleep late, take our beauty baths. We should just spend some more time. Stop running, you know, be with the self. And next comes the new moon again. Start all over again. What am I? But now your house is clean. You're organized. You got your butt. You know, you got to clean. Nature is organized. You can't, it's hard to move forward when everything is in disarray. You know, you say, where are my keys? I thought, you're looking around. Where? It's like you get to the
Mm-hmm.
airport and my lady says, Miss, let me see your passport. And you do like this. Hold on a second. Let me look in my bag. I thought I put it in my pocket. Right? Like, not a stress. People behind you are like, oh my God, is she kidding? Lady, I
Yep.
gotta catch a
Yep.
flight for crying out. And the steward is looking at you like, and you're looking, where's my, I thought I put it over. That's disorganized. That's stress. When you're together, you can that pass me say, there it goes. Next, boom. Because you're ready, you're organized, you're in alignment. So if your life is out of order, you can't find this. Oh, where's my blue top? I want that blue top. I thought I put the blues together, put the reds together, put the whites together. When you want to wear white, it's in the white section. When you want to wear, just make your life easier, rather than you throwing stuff up looking for the blue top. Nobody got time for that. And you say, I'll wear the green one, but I really wish I could have worn the blue one, but I couldn't find it. You have to get organized for your own benefit. And when you do, life is more simple. You're flowing, having a good time because you're in order. See? So every new moon, we start all over again. Clean up that house. I cleaned it up last month. That ain't got nothing to do with cleaning it up again this month. You got to keep cleaning. You got to stay on your goals. So the moon keeps us consistently getting better. And after a while, you just get into that rhythm. You already know what to do. I clean up. I'm exercising. I'm working out. You know, we got to shoulder each other and becoming better. You don't have to look at what she's doing. No, what am I doing? Stop worrying about what your neighbor and your girlfriend, what are you doing for your life? You understand? Yeah. So that's healing by the light of the moon because it's giving us an order, a system, a consistency. And if we're in New York or if we're in Buffalo or if we're in Jamaica or if we're in Africa, we're all doing the same thing at the same time. And this is what Spirit gave me. And it's a way to unify women around nature. You know, and I love the fact that, oh, I don't believe in the moon. No, nature doesn't ask you if you don't believe. These are the facts. There's no debate here. I mean, this is affecting all of us, your reproductive system. So, when we all in sync and we all in rhythm, now we can come together to see how can we make things better, because we're not arguing my way's better than, no, we're not doing that. We are in alignment with nature. So now that we're all in alignment, how can we make the planet a better place? How can we
Mm-hmm.
strengthen our family? A lot of times I do GPS readings for the woman and for your man and for your children. You need to know who you're living with. You've been living with this person, but who is this? You got to know your kids on a deeper level. Because now you can appreciate, like I tell you, my daughter, she's moving. I'm like, hello, can I get a phone call? 3 minutes. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye. I, I don't have time. I could never get enough quality time with her. So I did her GPS reading and found out that she was an eagle. I'm like, no wonder I can't keep up with her. Who want to catch up with an eagle? Ain't nobody, eagles are so low, they're flying so high. So when I realized she was an eagle,
Mm-hmm.
I could appreciate the fact that she's doing what eagles do. I wasn't mad. I was just like, take care. Love you. Mwah. Call me. Who is your man? What is his purpose? He needs to know who you are. Let's don't get it twisted. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I signed up for. Because often in relationship, we're trying to make somebody be something else. They're trying to make us be so. No, this is who I am. This is who you are, and I want to support you in who you are without trying to change you. I want to inspire you to be your best of who you are. We should also strive to be in relationships with family, friends, sisters, with people that inspire, that bring out the best in us. You got some people that bring out the worst in you. They stress you out. Now you arguing. I ain't trying to do all of that, but now you
Mm-hmm.
done said this, you done push that button. Now I'm all, but then you have people that are like, bring out your best, and you're like, we want to be better. So be around people that encourage you to be better, because we're striving to get better. So don't keep putting ourselves in situations that don't bring out our best, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense, right? You want to really be aware of who you surround yourself with. Um, but in order to do that, you have to know who you are first, right? And then once you know who you are, then you can kind of assess what energies are, going to really empower you to be the best version of yourself, and which energies aren't going to empower you to do that, right? To really be in alignment. And so I love that. And I love that the GPS readings, they also really empower you to get to know the people around you, especially like you said, the people that you live with. That's number one. Okay. Even if you don't live with your family, even if it's with a roommate or a housemate, just kind of know, it's important, because then it makes navigating those relationships so much easier. There's no more fights between you and your housemate. There's no more fights between you and your family, because you know how they operate and you know how you operate, right? So you're like, okay, you know what? He, this family member loves eating beef. I don't like eating beef. Like, just as an example. We're probably not going to eat dinner together, right? Or we're not going to cook the same thing, right? It's like, I'm going to have to cook something separate from what he's cooking, because I'm not going to be able to eat that. But again, it's just going to make, like, really limit those conflicts, or those kind of butting heads that we might have been experiencing for years, right? Or maybe even decades for some of us. So it's really important to really know that about everybody who you, especially if you're gonna interact with that person on a daily.
Yes, because if you do, then you have more harmony. Sometimes we're fussing and arguing, fighting. We have to leave fighting for your enemy. You don't want to be fighting in your house. Your house is your sanctuary. You're burning your sage. You want to calm down. It's hot on the street. It's cold on the street. So when you come into your palace, your sanctuary, you want it to be where you can go, woosah, and you're cool. As opposed to you and your mate, and you're stressed out. If you're going to be stressed out the house and stressed out in the house, how can you win? You stressed out. Oh, no, no. You know what I'm saying? We're in this house together. We're a team. And a lot of people don't really know what a team is. But when you look at the basketball players or the football, pass me the ball. Because the main thing is we have to score a point. It doesn't have to be me. Whoever's closest to the basket. I always have to be the one that. No, whoever can make the shot. So as a team, we're just seeing who does what. You got that? I got this. And as a people, we need to really be in that energy of supporting each other. Help somebody. Get help. Just don't be helping people and nobody helps you. Love is a two-way street. Give some, get some. Just don't keep giving, 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 and don't just keep taking, taking, take. What?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
give some and get some.
Mm-hmm.
Make it ma'at, make it balanced, make it make sense. But when we go through the 13 tones, you are tone number 1, which is the oneness of all things. Now, tone number 2, the lunar tone, is opposition, day and night. They're opposites, but you can't have day without night. So it's gonna be recognized. When you put that plug into the wall, then you get the third tone, which is electricity. Electric. Some people
Right.
are electric because one and one together make electricity. That's tone 3. Tone 4 is foundation. Let's build a strong foundation. Let's build on what? On love, on integrity. Let's build because if the foundation is shaky, by the time you get to the third floor, the house is going to be tilted. What kind of foundation are we building? Are we setting for our family, for our children? What kind of foundation? Now, tone 5, and someone very well is Queen of. I'm tone number.
So, have you ever felt like you're meant for more? You're here for a reason. Something inside of you knows that there's more. There's more purpose, there's more connection, there's more fulfillment, there's more love to be enjoyed in this life. What if all of that was here right now? Your life easier to navigate, your dreams easier to manifest. You can live in a life of ease, even in these uncertain times with Pluto being in Aquarius. Your community of expansion is right here at your fingertips. From the moment you enter, you feel the sense of release and comfort. No more wondering if all those downloads you got as a kid were just random thoughts. No more wondering that time you had telepathy, thinking that it was just a fluke. Be with the people you know are here for you. Join our ever-expanding community on Patreon for free. And for those of you who ask, yes, the Wellness Library is included. I love y'all so much. Let's get back to the show. Peace.
4. Queen of 4 is tone number 5. Tone number 5 is called the overtone. So you can't catch up with them. They over the tone. So the average person might write one book, or Queen writes 8 books. Really? The average person doing it, she going 50 years deep. So when I say, oh, she's an overtone, at least I understand why she's going so fast, why she's doing Sacred Women, womb yoga, 21-day detox, products,
Mm-hmm.
trainings, la, 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 because that's the overtone. So when you understand that about a person, you know why they're moving at that speed. Tone 5. Now, tone 6 is about rhythm. These people got to be in order. Everything's got to, it's like when you put the music on, we all are doing a different dance, but we're all on the same rhythm. Got to be in rhythm. And tone number 7 is the resonant. If it ain't resonating, tone number 7, people are like, nah, that's not gonna fly.
Yep.
Like I like
Got
music, but I'm not
mm-hmm.
really a fan of rock music. It just doesn't resonate with me. So for me to go to a rock concert, I'd be in there like, what? You know. So you have to place yourself in what
Mm-hmm.
resonates with who you are. Some people they make you get the chills. Some things make you just like you get the heebie-jeebies or something because some stuff is not resonating, and when you're a resonant tone, you just can't take too much stuff that's not resonating. Like the 7 chakras, if it's resonating, you'll be fine with those people, but if they don't resonate, you'll always be like, I can't, because this tone 7 doesn't allow for that. It has to be in order. Tone 8 is what is when we are in harmony. Tone 8 is galactic. You don't see Pluto falling into Mars and Mars bumping into Jupiter and Jupiter bumping into the Earth. The universe got a whole system that works. So we as humans, we have to strive to mirror the cosmic family and get ourselves in order.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do your reading, I'll find out of the 13 tones, which tone did you come and cup under, and that will explain your character and why that's important to you.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for breaking that down. And just going into depth about like the such a wide range of tones that everybody is, right? Different personality types, different ways that people can live their life like with ease, and then you use the word harmony, and that's like my number one word. That is literally like, especially when people are friends, clients, they come to me being like, talking about relationships or what manifesting words do I have to or should I use, to get the ideal relationship. I was like, if harmony is not in there, you're not going to manifest the right relationship for you. You got to put the word harmony somewhere in there. And I love it because it really just speaks for itself, right? When you're in harmony with somebody, and it doesn't have to be like a partnership, but when you're in harmony with just life in general, it's harmonious. It's like everything is just, it's easy. If something breaks, and you're in harmony, it's not going to be as big of a deal because either, you're going to clean up or somebody else is going to be there to help you clean up, that glass that you broke. But what I'm saying is just like being in harmony is so important, and it's so effortless. That's the other thing. When you use the word harmony, there's an effortlessness to it. There's no, when you drop that glass on the floor, you're not thinking, oh my God, who's gonna pick it up? What is this? It's harmony. It's harmonious.
Right. Yeah, she's saying it. Yeah, because you have to be in harmony with yourself first. You come into a circle of sisters or relationship, and you got issues. You got a short fuse. You got some things that trigger you. You have a whole bunch of situations. So when you get with people, anything happens, you jumping out the box. You ready to get mad. You get ready to get hyped. Because you're not in harmony with yourself. Because if you're in harmony with yourself, then you can
Mm-hmm.
be in harmony with somebody. But if you can't even be in harmony with your own self, how are you going to be in harmony with somebody else? So again, you got to start with the I. Start with the
Mm-hmm.
self. And people sometimes complain, this happened, this didn't happen in my life. But people tend to forget that your life is actually a miracle. Like I tell people, it sounds kind of funny. My parents were married for 40 years, 40 years, and there are 4 of us. And I figured out 40 years of probably a lot of sex happened in 40 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of 40 years worth of sex. But guess what? I came through. Hell,
Mm-hmm.
greetings. Okay. I made it. That's the miracle. If you have sex once and have a baby, that's a miracle. We are forgetting the miracle of life. And the only time we really think about the miracle of life is when somebody dies. Now we're like, oh my God, they left? Oh, you're kidding. And we respond in 55 different ways. But they was there all the time. You
Right.
didn't call them up. You didn't send them any
Mhm.
love offerings. You didn't do anything special. Now that they did, oh, now you right. So we have to be living life while we're alive. We don't have to wait till it's over to realize the beauty of life because it's passing us by every day. Make the
Mhm.
most out of it. And this is really what I strive to do with my teachings, what I want to share with your audience. Find a way to have a fabulous life. Find a way to enjoy. Who's stopping you from having a fabulous life? Who's stopping you from having an awesome life? Like I tell my mother, I said, Mom, I like a Mercedes Benz. She said, they'll sell you one. Why can't you get a Mercedes? They'll sell it to you. So what is it that's blocking you from getting everything you want? Because many times we want things in life, but we don't have the courage, to step to it. Have to, like I live in Africa. You want to go to Africa? Well, I have to have the courage, to step away. If you don't like something, just don't be complaining, lip service, and you're still in a situation 8 years later. Boring. If you don't like it, what are you going to do about it? This is your life. You can make a change.
Mhm.
So we need to know that we have the power to do that. So we can ultimately have a glorious life. If this is your last day of life, you got to say, you know what? This is the last day. I've had a fabulous, awesome life. Thank you. As opposed to, oh my God, I didn't even get
Mhm.
to Hawaii yet. I was supposed to go. I didn't even, I didn't, if somebody had told me I only had this little bit of time, I would have been, you don't know what kind of time so don't waste your time. Your time is precious. you know your relationships, people that you love. If you have a husband, you have a wife, once a day, twice a day, you passing each other in the living room, just stop and give each other a hug. It's called an HUG. It's a hug. You see, because the hug, you don't have to
Mhm.
start doing any talking, just to embrace your mate for that 30 seconds, just to say, wow, I married you, I'm your mate, I'm with you, and this is what I love about you. And just being connected for this 30-second reminds me of how beautiful it is being in you know, it's just a HUG,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
part. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Saying kind things to each other. I'm about the love. If there ain't no love going on, what's really going on? Oh, what's really going on? Because we need something real, and love is real. Love, you can't see it sometimes, but you can feel it. You can't stop it. It's free. And we have to learn, we don't have to get so AI'd out that we forget about love. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Our relationships can be so plastic.
Mhm.
You know, we can
Mhm.
you can't hardly find a decent relationship in America right now. This one doesn't know they're gonna be that. This one doesn't. Hey, whatever happened to go holding hands? Whatever happened to look at each other's eyes? What happened to have a slow dance? Is there any love in the building? Everybody's got the conditions. You whoop, 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 whoop. Everybody can do everything, but there's no love at the end of the day. And we all need love.
Mhm.
I was in a car one time in Atlanta, and I was driving, and I saw a
Mhm.
brother come up to my window, and I was like, he probably needs some money. So I started digging in my bag. I wanted to give him some money and when I looked in my bag, I only had my little cards, my credit. I didn't have any loose money. So when he came up to the window, I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't have any money. He said, sister, all I wanted was your smile. I was like, oh, bro. I said, you're going to be.
Mm.
He said, I just wanted a black
Mhm.
woman to look at me and tell me, bro, it's going to be okay. It didn't cost anything. I'm so preoccupied that he needs the money. No, he just needed that contact for that to look in his eyes and say, brother, it's okay. Hang in there, bro. I got you. Just say, I'm going to say a prayer for you. That's what he needed. And it's free. So
Mhm.
let's, when you
Mhm.
want love in your life, don't be afraid to get. Well, I'll give something when I wait till she gives something. Then I'll give something. Give it out. Don't be trying to wait to see who's going to do what. Give love out in the universe, and somehow it comes back. It doesn't always come back where you might be expecting it to come back, but it will come back one way or the
Mhm.
other. In life, it's all we always know about cause and effect. In Buddhist teachings, it says just be concerned about what? Making good causes. Because if you keep making good causes, guess what's going to
Mhm.
happen at the end of the day? You're going to be getting good results. Because if you keep making bad causes, what do you think is
Mhm.
going to happen at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month? So you have the authority to just make good causes all day. And if people don't appreciate you, stop putting yourself where people don't appreciate you for who you are. Be around the people that love you for who you are. Be selective, huh, about where you shine your beauty. You just don't put it anywhere and people don't value you. Everybody's value. You see that part?
Yeah. I
You have
know.
to value yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
so these are just some simple things that we just need. It's not that complicated. You know, it's like how are we loving on ourselves, and just knowing that our life is a miracle, so we should just be in gratitude. Of course you have obstacles, but if we don't have obstacles, how you gonna get muscles if you don't do them push-ups? How you gonna get that? You gotta do them crunches. What? You gotta do those squats. You got to do those squats. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
know how you want your body to be, but you got to work for it. Work your physical body. Some people work the physical body, but you got to also work your spiritual body. Give out something, share, be kind, make an offering,
Mm-hmm.
send someone flowers for no particular reason. Get your mind right when you feel like you're going negative. And this is the way to get your mind right quickly. When you start going negative, I don't see how it's going to happen. I don't have the money. When you start going negative, that's your little mind. Then all you have to do now is think about the divine mind. The divine mind is not broke. The divine mind ain't scared. The divine mind ain't nervous. The divine mind is the divine. And we have access to the divine mind, okay? Because the divine, we are from the divine. Hello, okay? So you have access to the divinity whenever you so choose. You see? So choose to live a divine life. That part. Make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work. So I'm just excited. You have a
Mm-hmm.
different audience of people, and I love talking to people because I got to tell some of my students, look, I eat problems up for lunch. Yum yum yum. What appears to be the problem? It's only an apparition. Okay, what's the situation? You know what I mean? How are we going to deal with it? Because I'm not going to be sitting in the same problem for 6 years later. You know, like in Africa, you go into a circle of women
That
and you say to
part.
women, I'm having this problem and it's been really stressing me out. The women say, come into the circle, and they pull you in and they give you the advice. Now, when you go home, do this, do that. You say, I got it. You come to the market next week, you cry. They said, what happened? I'm having this problem again, or this thing again, or I'm trying. They bring you into the circle again, and they tell you, I told you, all you need to do is this. Remember what we said. She said, okay, I got it. Now, when you come to the market the third week and you start, oh, I'm having, everybody just turn their chair. Come on, man, you got to be kidding me. Nobody got time for all of that. They turn their chair around. We discussed this twice. We went through this the last 2 months. You coming back with the same problem. You're not doing the work, and you want to know why you're still crying because we already gave you advice. Nobody can make you heal. You have to want to heal, and you have to do the work.
That part. Yep. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Not even the 2-day retreat that costs you $10,000. They ain't gonna do it.
It's inspired, but after the retreat, you still stuck with you. You was with you, and you're still with you. And it's not that difficult to understand to get a fabulous life. You got to get your body. Now, if you got a lot of stuff with your body, ailments, overweight, illnesses,
Mhm.
you
Yep.
got to get your herbs. You got to get your teas. You got to cleanse. You got to detox. You got to drink. If it's a physical thing that's your biggest issue, then you got to work on your body. Now, if you're mentally, I'm stressed out, I'm nervous. You working yourself out of a good life. Your mind, you got to meditate. You got to relax. You got to deal with your mind. Spiritually, you scared to share. You don't have any trust. Then you got to pray more. You got to be in the spiritual. You know what? And then if you're broke, you got to ask, where's my gifts? So in order to have a good life, some people get the
Mhm.
money, but their body's shot. Okay, some people got a good body, but they're not in their spirituality. A lot of people are spiritual, but they're broke. Can we get a hope? Can we get the body, the mind, the spirit, and the money for crying out loud? Does that make sense? Because if you got 2 out of 4, it's not going to pan out. 2 out of 4. Sometimes you get 3 out of 4, but it's still imbalanced. You have to get 4 out of 4 in order to have a balanced life. And all areas take work. Because by you praying all day and meditating, that ain't going to help you exercise, and you still got to hit the mat. You still got to get outside. You still got to go to the park. You still got to do some jogging. Hey, hey, hey. You can't Each area needs its personal work. Your mind is negative. You have to do your affirmations. I
Mhm.
am powerful. I am victorious. I am overcoming. I am determined. I am the light. I am love. You gotta train, because people have tried to train your mind in a negative way. You got to reprogram yourself for positivity. You have to
Mm-hmm.
affirm the truth of who you are. And that takes work, because we have been conditioned. So we're conditioned, and so we got into these habits, and sometimes it's hard to let go of those old habits and behavior patterns. So that's why we have to affirm, today I change. From now on, you understand? So we have got to reprogram ourselves for success.
I love that. Yeah, reprogram. Okay, so I know we're coming up to the end of the show. I have so many more questions, but we'll have to change. We'll have to save it for another show. If you're willing to come back onto the show, I'd be more than happy to have you on.
Thank you. Yes, and I would love if any of your students or your circle, if they have questions, they should just send them into you, and then I can respond, because I like to respond to who I'm responding to. Different people need different sets of information. People have different concerns. Some people, like, something has been on their mind. Some people are getting stuck in certain areas, and I just like to be able to tap into those situations. They could find me, the mooncall.com. I have the full moon forum, or they can go to my mooncall, my mooncall.com, GPS readings. I'm here for you. I'm here for us. And my aim is really, as an artist, is to be creative, to see how we can have a great life. I do poetry because sometimes if somebody has an illness or a sickness, I might not have 6 months to do therapy for you, okay? But I can give you a poem to get you straight. I can say something, all right? So you'll be like, snap out of it, because the poem, I only got about a minute, but that minute of poetry can get you aligned. That's why I'm going to use whatever's necessary to help you get clear. You know what I mean? That's my work, to help you get through it. I don't care what your problem is. I ain't even worried about that. That's my gift, to help you get clear about your life. So if I could just maybe end with one
Yes,
poem,
please.
just to say, yeah, what I'm aspiring to. I'm aspiring to be like the Most High, because I am a part of the Most High. So I wrote this poem, and I also thought about my mother when I wrote this poem, because my mother was just so, so fabulous. Okay. Those of us who are parents, be good examples, because one day when your children grow up and they're fabulous, you'll be so proud of them. We say, bring the car around, and they come and they dress properly and they got money. You'll be so proud of your children, but spend time with them, get into their head, communicate with them, love on them, hug them. This is your life in the future. So do your due diligence, because when you do, your children will grow up and make you proud. So do your homework with your children. So I wrote this for my mom, and actually for the Most High. And the name of the poem, it has two titles. And one title, it says, I want to be just like you. And the other title is You. So the poem says, I want to be just like you. You're brilliant, you're bold, and you're beautiful too. You're excellent, marvelous, you're always on top, and you run your show non-stop. You fill me up with gratitude, and I digs your fearless attitude. People come and people go, but people never stop your show. Sirens flashing, cymbals clashing, some folks asking why, boxers fighting, alligators biting, but you still painting in the sky. You never make excuses. You always do the dang thing. You don't get caught by the moody blues, and you always swing your swang. Sometimes you're very serious, sometimes you laugh and joke. But your life is abundance, and you ain't never broke. That's why I want to be just like you and enjoy my life all through and through. A fabulous, glamour-luscious, swagger-rocking boo. And no, you don't need no coffee to get your morning churning. Your moon is shining a shimmering silver, your sunlight always burning. I recognize you and I'll shout it out. I'll give you your full props, because you're a miracle maker. You always deliver, and you run your world nonstop. That's why you are my MVP, my role model too. And that's why I choose to wear the crown, because I want to be just like you.
Ashe.
Ashe.
I
Give
love
thanks.
it. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, my beloved. Thank you for inviting me into your aura, into your circle. I so appreciate it. We move forward. You know, I'm here. This is my work. I love my work. You know, to help, to heal, to bring the joy, to help us be in harmony, and to just give thanks. To give thanks. I have two children, and I name one of them Hallelujah. To remind us, give thanks and praises. And all, if you do that, you won't get up caught up in the illusions and the challenges because you'll be so busy in such gratitude that the problems will just be like, whatever. Okay? No big deal. They're helping you grow. So thank you, my beloved LaJoie, and I look forward to see you again. Okay?
Thank you, Queen Esther. Thank you. And just real quick, so for those of y'all, Queen Esther was so generous today. She gave you a freebie. And I really want to say this poem. I love how expressive you are. Like that is so powerful for me personally, but I think for other people too who have blocks with self-expression, to really see somebody who is free and who is really deep within their self-expression. And I love it. I loved every moment of it. And I really love how in tune you are with yourself too. And again, it's just beautiful to see people who are fully expressing themselves, and especially you as a poet. I loved it. I just loved every part of it, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. I appreciate you. Okay? Thank you.
Mhm.
Take care.
But yeah, so for the first four people, okay, she's giving four people a poetry book when they send their contact info and email address. And make sure to put transformation to expansion pod 2025 in the email so she knows. Don't just hit her up out of the blue. Give her some context, okay? Um, but and especially for those of y'all watching or listening, 5 years in the future, you never know. 2 or 3 years, y'all never know. Okay, so make sure to hit her up just in case, and really get access to those powerful poetry books that are really going to empower you to be the best version of yourself, empower you to live in alignment, and really empower you to know the truth of who you are. So thank you so much again, Queen Esther,
Appreciate
for being
you.
on the show.
Ashe.
Okay,
Give thanks.
and I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.